They deliberated about 11 hours before returning a verdict of guilty in the Martin MacNeill murder trial.
Tonight, 4 members of that jury are talking to Fox 13 News. They're sharing why they convicted the Utah County doctor of killing his wife, Michelle, in 2007.
Fox 13's Ben Winslow sat down with them this evening and joins us now from Provo. Ben.
Yeah, members of the jury sat down with me tonight to explain more of why they made the decision that they did to convict Dr. Martin MacNeill of murder and obstruction of justice. Now, they say they each had their own reasons, but that led them to unanimously find him guilty. Some things swayed them more than others. For example, some jurors felt Martin MacNeill's daughters were credible, others less so. But they say it was looking at the overall timeline, the big picture, that led them to conclude Dr. MacNeill had killed his wife.
All these different red flags, all these different signs that kind of led to him killing Michelle.
Yeah. And so when you look at the things that Martin did, you find that there's a calculating nature, and you find that there is an ability for him, or in him, to predict the outcome of his actions.
For me, there were some key points that I thought were of primary interest, one of them being that a doctor would not do everything that he could to perform CPR.
We felt like there was just too much time there that wasn't accounted for, that gave him the opportunity to commit this crime.
We felt like there was too much bias, too much ulterior motive, that we didn't feel comfortable relying on the inmate's testimony. So we did throw that out.
I went into this thinking he is innocent. And I, with every piece of evidence that was going along, I tried to look for holes in each one of them, thinking, oh, he's still innocent, oh, he's still innocent. But then when Alexis came, it kind of swayed me, and I turned and I thought, oh, maybe he is guilty.
Now, members of the jury would only allow us to use their first names for privacy reasons. Some jurors also wanted to clarify what they saw after the trial was over. They say that people were reading way too much into their body language as the trial went on. In fact, one of the jurors said that, you know, we may have thought they were really interested in some testimony. And one of the jurors, the jury foreman, would lean forward at times, and we would read into that perhaps there was interest. He said, you know, at some point he had a bad back, just a sore back, and he was just leaning forward just because his back hurt. Bob and Hope.
Now, Ben, we know that the jury wasn't supposed to make up their minds before they deliberated, but human nature, you know, when you follow a trial like that, you kind of make up your mind before you even get to deliberations. Did the deliberations actually change any of the jurors' minds?
Yeah, some of the jurors say that certainly they went into this with an open mind, and they took the judge's admonitions to not make up their minds very seriously. They say that they certainly, you know, looked at all of the evidence, and we're going to get more into what the jury had to say about the deliberation process coming up at 9:30.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Ben Winslow, thanks so much.